Hurry up! If we don't mix that Ovaltine quickly, Daddy will make us sleep in the outhouse again.
Hey, look, kids! A present from one of our buyers!
Oh my god! It's Roomba Ballerina, the robotic vacuum that cleans your floor and does ballet!
Yay! Wait, weren't they taken off the market for running on combustible batteries?
Uh-oh!
Merry Christmas, you filthy animal!
Hey dudes, Hardcore Kid here. Hardcore enough to review Christmas stuff. Last time, I reviewed an average sequel to a Christmas movie. Now, I take a look at a really shitty sequel to a Christmas movie. That's right, guys. I give you A Christmas Story 2. Released in 2012, A Christmas Story 2 is a sequel to the 1983 Bob Clark film, A Christmas Story. Now, this movie came out a bit before my time. I lived in an era where Home Alone and all the Nickelodeon Christmas specials were all the rage. But I still enjoy A Christmas Story for its wacky humor and frighteningly realistic scenarios. It's based on a book by Gene Shepard, who also does the narration and the adult role of the protagonist, Ralphie, who wants a BB gun for Christmas. But not just any BB gun.
I want an official Red Ryder Carbine Action 2-inch range-ball air rifle.
But everyone else has the same answer.
Shoot your eye out.
You'll shoot your eye out?
You'll shoot your eye out! You'll shoot your eye out!
You'll shoot your eye out, kid.
But by 2012, A Christmas Story had pretty much become a zombie franchise. So who in their right mind decided to make a sequel to this movie 30 years later? None other than this bastard, Brian Levant. That's right, the same guy who gave us Jingle All the Way, Are We There Yet?, Snow Dogs, Spy Next Door, 2 of the live-action Scooby-Doo movies, and both live-action Flintstones movies.
Son of a bitch.
Jesus Christ, Superstar. If a guy can make a Christmas movie as shitty as Jingle All the Way, then a sequel to one of the most beloved Christmas movies of all time is like giving the secret KFC recipe to Burger King. But hey, it is Christmas, and I am doing this for the Red Ribbon reviewers, so I'm torturing myself, but it's for a good cause. So let's get started, shall we? This is A Christmas Story 2. Roll the footage. Our incredible story begins without hesitation as an adult Ralphie, now played by Nat Maudlin, narrates.
There it is. Our house on good old Cleveland Street. A few winters had passed and yet another one had come screaming over Lake Michigan in the middle of the night. It had been years since the old man's lamp stood proudly in our front window. The legendary battle of the lamp that locked my parents in mortal combat would forever be etched into my psyche.
Jesse McCartney, what is that? No, that's Ralphie? No way, he's way too handsome to be Ralphie. He should look geeky and have bad acne, not look like he's ready to audition for the stage performance of Beethoven, and I don't mean Ludwig. Aside from that, the guy puts in a very wooden performance, and it almost makes you pine for Peter Billingsley. That is, until you realize that it is now 2012, and that dude is now in his 40s. Nerd juice. As for the rest of his family, his little brother Randy is a Buck Rogers fan and spends the entire movie running around in some lame getup, while his parents are played by Stacey Travis and Daniel Stern.
The old man maintained his well-deserved status as the White Sox #1 fan.
Morons. Another utility infielder. What about a pitcher who can make it to the second inning?
This guy turned down the role of Marv in Home Alone 4, and yet he chose to star in this? Why? Did he think this was going to be the next Wonder Years and thought he was going to be narrating until the director decided, nah, he can play the dad? You know, I always thought Daniel Stern looked like a lab monkey, but I never knew he had the brains of one. Anyway, this movie takes place 5 years after the events of the first film, and Ralphie is now 15, about to go on 16. He still hangs with his friends, Flick and Schwartz, who are completely girl crazy, while Ralphie is fascinated with a Ford Mercury.
Is that a 6? Fireball straight 8. Overhead valves, 2-speed automatic.
Computer-controlled anti-lock brakes.
So yeah, in the first movie, Ralphie wanted a BB gun for Christmas. Now, his biggest wish is getting a car. Because, you know, that story hasn't been done to death. Speaking of which, whatever did happen to Ralphie's BB gun? I guess once he got older he decided, this is just a stupid kid's toy. I don't need this anymore. Oh. Sorry, dude! So Ralphie's dad takes his son on his very first test drive. This would be an entertaining scene if Daniel Stern wasn't yapping it up the entire time.
I'm gonna drive the 500, Indy's right down Route 6. Don't take the corner in third. Who's gonna pay for a new transmission? You're letting this joker cut in? It's dog-eat-dog out here. Stake your claim! Son of a bitch!
Oh, and if you were one of those juveniles who just giggled whenever they said son of a bitch in the first film, then good for you, because they say it twice as much here.
Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch.
Stubborn sons of bitches. Son of a bitch!
You could play Hair of the Dog over this movie and it would match right up.
Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch.
Son of a bitch!
Bitch.
And now, since Ralphie is in high school, he has to deal with high school situations, such as falling in love with that hot girl you see across the hall. And because this movie is assumingly trying to be faithful to the original, we have one of Ralphie's many dream sequences where we see his dad as a Nazi with the girl, named Drusilla, tied up, and Ralphie as a US soldier who has to save her.
Go ahead, Fraulein. Kick and scream. But your American boyfriends aren't going to rescue you today.
I'm Schlamsten Dotschießen Asksen immer! Arschloch! You know, Darren McGavin's performance as the old man was douchey and he hammed it up like crazy, but still offered a few good laughs.
It's a clinker!
Stern, on the other hand, goes way over the top with his performance. His line delivery sounds forced, and most of the time he says nothing but cliché truisms and old sayings that your dad always kept telling you when you were 10. Even this movie is quick to emphasize this.
You know what they say? If you don't ask, you don't dance. You know what they say? Every dog has his day. You know what they say? If anything can go wrong, it will.
That's probably what Brian Levant was thinking when he was working on the set of Spy Next Door. Later we see Ralphie, Flick, and Schwitz heading to the dealership, and perched up on a ramp is Ralphie's precious 1939 Mercury. So because he's so passionate about it, he stupidly jumps into the driver's seat and pretends it's his. Remember, kid, it's not your car, so don't lose your pants.
Split bench leather seat, quadricoil suspension, hydraulic brakes. Oh, no sense torturing myself. It was time to say my goodbyes.
So long, old girl.
And right as Ralphie says this, the owner Hank shows up and Ralphie accidentally gets his pants caught in the parking brake, causing the car to roll right back into a pole.
My first test drive! How'd I do?
Wow, so not only has he lost his pants, I'm sure he's lost his freedom right about now. So Ralphie has to pay Hank $85 to repair the car's top, but they don't have the dough to pay it off. Ralphie tries to ask his dad, who responds by doing his best Joe Pesci impression.
What?
Keep it up, Stern, and I'm sure you'll win an Emmy for this performance. I'd much rather be listening to Christopher Lee's heavy metal Christmas album right now. No, really, I would. So Ralphie decides that the three of them all need jobs to get the money before Christmas. So they go to the mall where they get jobs as merchandisers. First they're given a task as present wrappers, but it's a dud since these guys are clearly better at tearing wrapping paper than they are at actually wrapping, and their boss is an alcoholic.
Please, everyone, we are doing our best. My baby! Where's my baby?
I'm puzzling and puzzling, and now my brain itches. I think there was supposed to be a joke here, but I'm not laughing. We then see this movie's pathetic attempts at slapstick, involving Schwartz as a perfume sprayer, Flick as a shoe salesman, and Ralphie as an underwear salesman accosting a mannequin. Oh no! Those glasses were fragile! Shame on you kids! But seriously, when has grabbing a girl's tatas and destroying women's underwire been hilarious? I could make a mess of my underwire right now and it would still be funnier than this. And just to show that the writers aren't desperate for laughs, they have a bit where Flick very stupidly puts his mouth over the transporter tube and nearly gets his lips ripped off. I'm sorry, but is this supposed to be an homage to the first movie where Flick got his tongue frozen to the flagpole? If so, then they failed miserably because it looks horrifyingly stupid! And if you're completely annoyed by these guys' antics, then you'll also have to put up with Daniel Stern constantly complaining about an expensive turkey and still trying to fix that furnace, which shouldn't he have gotten fixed in the last 5 years since the first movie? And as for Randy, well, if his constant whining wasn't bad enough, we also get a scene where he goes to the dentist, who Ralphie refers to as the butcher. Gee, I wonder why they call him... Oh.
Sweet, isn't it?
Holy shit. Jeez, if this guy is this bad with all his patients, then how does he still have a job? This isn't funny. This is nightmare-inducing. You know why A Christmas Story was funny? Because it was actually realistic, and the audience could actually relate to what the characters were going through. This movie is just using cliché gags and dumb pratfalls that a lot of people have already seen before. There just isn't anything refreshing about what we're seeing in this movie. We get a scene where Ralphie, Flick, and Schwartz are now dressed as elves for the mall Santa, who I assume is the same creepy Santa we saw in the first film, and he's just as douchey as ever.
Ho, ho, ho.
Well, after 5 years of living that nightmare down, Ralphie steps in for a bit of retribution.
All right, what can Santa get for you, sport? Welcome to the Wax Museum. Come on, spill it.
It's okay, buddy. Still Santa what you want.
Could you bring me a tire?
A tire? You mean like a bicycle tire?
A car tire?
A car tire? What was that all about?
I just think you can go a little easier on them, that's all.
Excuse me. I've been delighting children for 19 years. Don't you step on my turf.
No. We should hold Santa to a higher standard. I mean, you're taking the spirit out of it. Everyone, you can all go home. No more Santa for you. He is not worth it.
Well, it's nice you're finally getting some revenge against the evil drunk Santas, but you're shooting your chances here, kid. Yeah, screw the job. I'm just gonna get into a candy cane fight with my friends. Ho, 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 motherfuckers. Oh, and if you hated Daniel Stern now, watch this scene where he's going ice fishing with the wife, which totally isn't shot on a soundstage in front of a green screen, where we get another slapstick scene with Stern wrestling a fish.
Come on! Come on! 2 days I've been out here! Now give in, you stupid, big, fat, faggot raccoon!
It's really sad when the fish is the best actor in this movie. We eventually do get a scene of the two of them on the ice at night.
I actually kind of wanted to talk.
Well, sure, let's talk. How's it going to work? God, it seems like only yesterday I was watching your mother change your diapers, and here I am asking you how's it going to work. You and me, kid, we are two of a kind. We hang tough. MacArthur, he didn't pull out a baton till they held a gun to his head. Dugout Doug, they called him. You know what they say. Sometimes it's the last key in the bunch that opens the lock. To tell you the truth, I'm not even sure if I know what that one means.
I do. I know just what that means.
Yeah, I've been listening to all your silly phrases and expressions all these years, and I know just what you're talking about. You're clearly talking about a Boston cream donut in a box full of New York jellies. Boston. I hate the Red Sox, but love their donuts. So Ralphie goes back into the mall and asks for one last chance. So what do they make him do? Dress up as a reindeer and wave a sign around. You know, sort of like when Ralphie dressed as a pink bunny rabbit in the first. I'd say this is just a wink to the first film, but geez, even the DVD cover makes it obvious they're recycling material. Of course, Ralphie once again fucks it up by getting into some kind of bell-off with a charity collector, resulting in Ralphie knocking over the money pot, resulting in money going everywhere, resulting in a Bruce Willis lookalike picking a bill up, and what does this result in?
Oh, come on, sir, it's for charity.
Take a hike, Bambi. I don't know what you're talking about.
Actually, you do.
Well, that would make me a liar then, wouldn't it?
Yes?
Ralphie getting I am a man punched in the gut right in front of Drusilla.
All those faces floating over me, and the only one I could see was hers. It was over. Why bother getting up? Why bother going back home, or back to school, or back to anything?
And you know, this kind of stuff wouldn't be happening to Ralphie in the first place if he just did his job and stopped acting like a buffoon the entire time. Your freedom is on the line, dude, and if you don't get that $85, you'll be spending the holidays behind bars. You know what they say, quit with the hootenanny and pay off that granny. Oh my god, I'm starting to sound like the old man. Be right back. Stool mode activate! Oh. Wait. Oh. Wait. One more time. Oh. I'm better now. Okay, so now... So Ralphie eventually does make the money, but it proves to be all for naught as he spends half of it buying Chinese food for a bunch of homeless people. So, yes, the message of this scene is giving is better than getting. Why are they doing this now? Why? What? However, as it turns out, Hank already sold the car, so the whole thing was completely pointless. So Christmas Day comes, Randy gets a sailor suit from Aunt Clara, the old man gets a brand new lamp leg, and the Ford Mercury that Hank sold before turned out to have been bought by the old man as a present for Ralphie. So in other words, it's just the same thing as the original. Instead of a BB gun, Ralphie gets a car. No differences, no surprises, no twists, nothing. But what about that Drusilla chick? Well, she manages to come along to the rescue after Ralphie almost makes it run away again.
Will? Are you gonna say anything?
So, you just out looking for runaway cars?
Actually, I came to see you. Do you remember the other day in front of Higbee's? Antlers, sleigh bells?
Look, I can explain.
You don't have to. I saw what you did. Takes a lot of guts to stand up to a jerk like that. You don't see that very often. I guess I just wanted you to know that.
So even though he made a fool of himself, caused hundreds of dollars in property damage, and now probably has that charity dude stalking him around every corner, he still manages to impress the girl of his dreams, get the car he always wanted, and live happily ever after. Mazel tov. And that, my friends, was A Christmas Story 2. All I can say about it is... son of a bitch. What a boring, lifeless, unnecessary movie. I will give it credit in saying that visually, it looks okay, and I like how it tries to make this town look as 1950s as possible, and that's fine. The writing and the acting is where the movie falls flat. The story is way too predictable, the acting is wooden, Daniel Stern is a blithering mess, and the slapstick just really isn't that funny. It's just another boring, run-of-the-mill, direct-to-video sequel that did not need to get made. If you want a Christmas movie that's realistic and have a sense of charm to it, go watch the original. Don't even bother with this. I'd rather drown in a vat of Ovaltine and diarrhea. I'd rather fart lightning out of my asshole. Hardcore headache for A Christmas Story 2, and I pray to Nico that Goldberg from Santa's Sleigh shows up and slaughters these filmmakers for their butchering of a classic. Hey, what else does Santa do to people on his naughty list? Man, this was lame. You know, the only thing that could have made this movie even worse is if right at the end, during the end credits, they made a Santa Claus is Coming to Town music video starring Justin Bieber. Wait, what?
Better watch out. You better not cry. Better not pout. I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town.
Not on my Christmas. Well, dudes and dudettes, it's been a good year. But I think it's time to move on and prepare for a new one. Have a Merry Christmas, drink your Ovaltine. I'll see all you guys in 2014. Peace out.